in today's video, we're gonna learn how to hold a pencil, creating outlines and edges, and basic shading. The first thing you're gonna learn is how to hold a pencil to create different effects. It's not a good idea to hold a pencil right down there by the tip, because if you do, what tends to happen is that you tend to hold the pencil too tightly, your hand becomes rigid here, and it's very difficult to move. Plus, if you stick into the plate, you can only move short distances with the pencil point. So that's not a good idea. What I would suggest is to hold the pencil between your finger and your thumb, just like this. Couple centimeters from the end, put your finger, this one, behind, holding nice and loosely so you can move your fingers and your hand, okay? So this way your wrist can help, as you can see, and become almost like a compass. So, for example, a couple things to practice. If you're going to draw a line, then simply use your fingers like this. So you draw a line very simple. Try not to use the little dip, 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 tap, tap, tap technique. And keep it nice and bold, nice and strong. If you want to draw a curve, again, use the wrist. So all we need to do is to use line, use our hand. Draw the curves. You can see them quite clearly. With our wrist, we could also draw circles. I can just simply use my fingers, or I can use my wrist. In this case, I'm going to draw a circle using my fingers. It's very simple to do, and as you can see here, I am producing lines which some are lightly offline, but it gives a nice unique feel to it. And it is okay, because this is my circle, it's different from any other circle, so it's unique, it's mine. You don't need to worry if you don't have it perfect from the first try. We also need to learn how to use shading now. You can also do this in two ways. You can use the point of the pencil, and when I shade, I can use the lines and I will get a particular effect. Just like this. That can fade away almost to nothing. Okay? But if I turn my pencil around, all right, and hold my pencil inside my palm, just like this, now we can use the side of the pencil to get a totally different type of shading. Much smoother, no banding. You can gradually change from light tone to a very pale tone. It's worth practicing these techniques because it all helps with the basic drawing itself. We can apply the shading to the line by using something called edges or outlines. If I was to draw a simple shape here, I will draw a very simple oval shape, okay, and make it into a very simple cylinder. Here I'm using outline, and I'm gonna do exactly the same next to it because I just want to show you the two slightly different techniques. I'm gonna go on this one and just press on quite hard and produce an outline, okay, which is what the majority would tend to do. I'm gonna do the same later on and the second one. Always a good idea to sketch something out very lightly first and then go over it when you think you've just got the quite correct shape. So, on one drawing we will create edges and on the other we will create outlines. So in this drawing here, if I start shading, I'm gonna hold the pencil just as stated in the previous part. The problem with this one is that we can still see the outline. And the problem is sometimes when we see the outline, it tends to flatten our drawing. That's why what we need to do is to get rid of the outline, and by doing so we need to create an edge. To do so, you make the outline disappear. So if I shade down here this time, and I'm making the shading very dark so that I begin to get rid of my edges, and as I do so, the whole thing appears more three-dimensional. So this is the final outlook. As you can see, there's a visible difference between the two objects, and the secret is hidden in shadowing. I hope you enjoyed this video and keep on practicing the three basics we covered today: holding the pencil, creating outline and edges, and shadowing.